Hello, one and all. This is Step Ahead with Ernie Rivera. I am your host, Ernie Rivera, and I said it once and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast sometimes. If you don't stop and look around, you could miss it. Today, at Special Request, we're going to be talking about self-care with Ferris Bueller.
Shake it up, baby, now shake it up, baby. Twist and shout, twist and shout.
For those of you that don't know, Ferris Bueller is this gem of an 80s movie about Ferris, his friend Cameron, and his girlfriend Sloane, and their day off, their ditch day, if you will, in their senior year of high school. And this is a really cool story, and a lot of people will tell you it's kind of in a way a prototype of Fight Club. And I'll tell you where that comes from. Okay, so we have this character, Ferris, right? And he's larger than life. He seems to be able to get away with anything. And his friend Cameron, meanwhile, he's mild-mannered, he's weak, he's sickly, he's living in self-denial. He can't face himself, his friends, or his parents, and he's just living this miserable life. Meanwhile, here comes along this guy, Ferris. Ferris is everything that Cameron wants to be. He's cool, he's confident. He is the best parts of Cameron amplified. And so what happens on this day is they ditch school, but it's not just a ditch school. You know, before we had a word for it, it'd be considered a mental health day, especially for Cameron. This is something he really needed. And Cameron is taken by Sloane and Ferris all over the city of Chicago. I believe it was Chicago on that wonderful day. They were taken to restaurants, parades, all this amazing stuff. And Cameron, by the end, spoilers for everything, Cameron by the end was finally able to come to terms with how he was choosing to live his life, and he was finally ready to speak up to his father, who I'm not sure was really bullying him or if Cameron just couldn't express himself. But by the end, Cameron was self-actualized, and he was able to take on and express himself to the people of his world. And this is all because of the self-care day provided by Ferris Bueller. Now, many of you know that I was on a 60-mile trek recently over the course of 2 days, and afterwards I was pretty beat up. It's a few days later, and I'm starting to recover okay. But I was given a request by someone on my Instagram. They said, "What do you do afterwards to recover?" And I'd like to talk about self-care and recovery right now. Now, they say when you're on a plane, imagine you're on a plane, you're soaring through the sky, something happens, and all of a sudden the oxygen masks fall down. Now, you may have a child with you. Do you put on the child's mask, even though the child's life is truly precious? What they will tell you, what they will instruct you, is to put on your own mask first, so that you have the ability to take care of others around you. You have to take care of yourself before you're able to take care of others, because otherwise you just won't have the strength, you won't have the ability to. They also say that you can't pour from an empty glass, so you have to make sure that you're full, that you're healthy and secure. Now, these are some hints and tricks I do to recover from not just my workouts, but from life in general. Okay, first let's talk about generalities, right? So let's say you just need a day of self-recovery, a day of pampering, if you will. Think back to when you were a kid. Now, a lot of us, thankfully, we're lucky enough to have parents who might have taken care of us when we were sick. If you didn't, surely you had some favorite parts of childhood, and go back to that. Go back to the little things that you might have appreciated, you know, whether it be a cup of pudding, you know, a certain cartoon show, whether it be macaroni and cheese or something like that. You know, these things that we had when we were kids, you know, they were given to us for a reason, and somehow along the way we become adults, we forget about the little things. We start appreciating these more sophisticated things in the world. But the fact is that these simple pleasures are simple pleasures for a reason. You know, don't be afraid to indulge on these days when you need it. Watch a childhood cartoon show, you know, watch some Nick at Night reruns. Have yourself a pastry of your choice, whatever you want, you know, but do it, you know, to quote Parks and Recreation right now, treat yourself. Don't be afraid to treat yourself. Have a treat yourself day. Now, if we're talking more specifically about recovery from a workout, well, this is what I personally do. First of all, I don't like to work out to the point where I'm going to be just beat up and exhausted the next day. I realized I did it this time, but that was part of a very rare challenge that I was taking part in. But in general, you want to work out until you feel it, but don't overdo it, because then you won't feel like working out the next day. You probably won't feel like working out the next day after that, and after that, and it goes on like that if you really just go to work on yourself. So don't do that. Do some regular workouts. Push yourself a little each day, a little more each day, but don't overdo it. Don't blow something out, and certainly don't injure yourself. Always look for advice from trainers and doctors if you do not have this information yourself on how to work out properly. If you have any questions about that, you can leave it in the comment section. I'd be happy to try to answer it to the best of my ability. But separate from that, let's say I have a huge day like I just had. Well, certainly I'm going to need time to rest myself. I needed to get off my feet recently for a very long time, but as I'm starting to heal and I'm starting to feel better, I'm not afraid to get back on my feet and move a little bit, because if I don't, then atrophy will set in and I'll feel weaker and I'll feel worse. Now, as for food to recover, well, when I was doing the trek itself, I was highly into pasta, doing a lot of pasta because of all the carbs involved in it I needed for the journey. That's more rare for me. Usually I do protein heavy meals, especially in recovery from weightlifting or a challenge like this. I like to eat chicken, fish, steak. I really like doing like a whey protein powder. Using a whey protein powder as part of a milkshake. I use some 1%, 2%, whatever lactose-free milk, because I can't have lactose. So I do that, and I put in the whey protein powder, right? I do a double scoop. Brilliant. You get tons and tons of protein. It's great for healing the muscles, healing the joints. Separate from that, you want to do a good bone broth, something separate from eating the broth, which is delicious and amazing for you. You might want to do some sort of a Nox Jello or a glucosamine vitamin, something to help the joints and ligaments out. And when I get bad and I know that I've done too much, what I do is I'll do a double scoop of creatine. Creatine, for those of you who don't know, it's really good for helping you out and encouraging quick healing. We produce it naturally in our system, but a good supplement is always great. I don't like to do it on the daily, because I personally like money-wise it can add up, and also I'm pretty comfortable in my workout routine where I don't need to do it. But when I've gone too far, I do it just to help encourage muscle, joint, ligament healing all the quicker.
At this time, the fine people at Step Ahead with Ernie Rivera would like to encourage you to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Cheers!
So what is the best way to heal? The best way to heal is whatever way you need to heal. That's the best way to heal. At the end of the day, you have to listen to yourself, and your body will tell you what it needs, your body and your mind. Do you need to talk to people? Then talk to people. Do you need to be by yourself for a while? Be by yourself for a while. Do you need to treat yourself? Treat yourself. Get yourself a Danish and a donut and a coffee and again a pudding, whatever you need. Take a day off, have some TV, do whatever you need to. But right after that, right after you start to feel a little bit better, get back to it. Get back to it. Don't wait till you're 100% better. Just get back to it and do what you need to do, because staying on task is what it's about. So I really appreciate you guys being here with me today. Take that mental health day. Take that Ferris Bueller day. Treat yourself. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you for being here with me on Step Ahead with Ernie Rivera. I am your host, Ernie Rivera. Have a great day. Take care. Bye. You're still here? The video's over, man. Go home. Go home. It's over. Video's over.